Alright, aloha. My name is Logan Yonehiro, and I'm going to go over my case review for the article Three Rules for Making a Company Truly Great by Michael Rayner and Mumtaz Ahmed. So, as we all know, business is an ever changing and turbulent environment. And from decision making to structure organization to marketing strategies and promotion management, managers are constantly tasked with making tough decisions. It's rare that a manager is guided on how to take on such tasks and make tough decisions, and that's where these three rules apply. So Rayner and Ahmed conducted a study of thousands of companies to identify who could be considered truly exceptional. And after much failure, they had a breakthrough and decided to look at how successful companies, people, and leaders all thought. And they were able to come up with the three rules of business. So first, we have better before cheaper. This is a very self-explanatory rule, at least to myself. So instead of trying to cut corners to save money, just put out a better product. Just because your product is cheaper doesn't necessarily mean that it's better or that you're going to make more money, because it's cheaper, it's lower quality, and you might actually end up hurting your business and your brand more than you end up helping it. An example of this could be seen like this past Christmas when I was getting my son. I had to go to the store to pick out a remote control car for my son. And I knew both brands. There was two brands of remote control cars. I knew both of them. One is better quality, one is lower quality. But the better quality one's obviously like $10 or $15 more expensive. But I knew that car is going to last longer and take more hits than the cheaper car. And so I ended up spending $15 more to get the more expensive car, because it'll have more longevity and it's better quality. And yeah, and so that's just an example of how a cheaper product doesn't necessarily make you more money and doesn't make people buy it just because it's a few dollars cheaper. So second, we have revenue before cost. So don't focus on cutting costs. Instead of that, focus on increasing your return on asset. Instead of cutting costs, why not look into other avenues to generate revenue? There's always another avenue or path that can be explored before you go into cutting costs. And even if you cut costs, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to do well in the market, and you can still end up hurting your company or your brand's market value. And third, Rayner and Ahmed say that there are no other rules besides the first two rules. And when I heard this, I was like, it's kind of controversial, you know. But I think a third rule could be added. And the third rule that I would add would be to keep on innovating, never become complacent. And that's because in the business world, there's somebody who's always coming up with something better, faster, bigger, faster, stronger than what was just put out. And so if you're the top dog right now and you become complacent, or you stop innovating, it's only going to be a matter of time before the guy behind you catches up and passes you. And you can go from being the cream of the crop, or the top dog in the business, to a nobody or to a has-been, just with a snap of a finger. So never be complacent and never stop innovating. And I think the three rules could definitely help me to become a better manager. And one thing that caught me off guard was that was the rule not to cut costs, because bigger companies like Fortune 500 companies, they always seem to be cutting costs or cutting corners somewhere. And so I figured, like, that's the rules of business, you just cut costs. But the rules obviously say otherwise, and that came as a shock to me, because bigger successful companies always seem to be doing it. But other than that, I think that implementing these rules could definitely come in handy one day, to being a great manager. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.